Welcome to the Inspiring Coaches Show, the podcast devoted to inspiring coaches to bring their professional dreams to life by revealing the knowledge, insights, and best practices of other inspiring coaches. I'm your host, Jen Anderson, Master Certified Coach, early settler of the coaching industry, lover of all things coaching, and what coaching is doing to make the world a better place. Well, hello out there and welcome back. So happy to have you here. And as you know, I love to start every podcast, but really every coaching session, every training, really everything I do, I love to start by asking, what can we celebrate from your world? And so today, what's really exciting about this is that our guest has actually provided our celebration because it's a big deal. So our guest is Sarah Uchytil. Sarah, what do you want to share as your celebration?
Well, hi, Jen. It's so great to see you and
You
be
too.
on this amazing conversation with you today, as I am getting ready to celebrate my 10-year anniversary of graduating from my corporate job to launch my full-time coaching business.
Yay!
So it was 10 years ago. Well, I had started my coaching journey back in 2007. I was a finance manager at Sprint. I
Mhm.
live in Kansas City and I worked at the headquarters at the time. And I was just, at that time in my career, I was traveling a lot, I was working a lot. I just felt like I was on that corporate treadmill and I just kept running faster and faster, trying not to fall off. And I was actually on a business trip out in San Francisco and I confided with a friend and colleague after a grueling day of meetings. And I was like, Jacqueline, do you ever just feel drained at the end of every day? And I was like, yes. She's like, yes, that's why I started working with a life coach. I was like, what are life coaches and do they only exist from San Francisco? And because back then I'd never heard of life coaches before. So she told me that they were personal trainers for your life and your career. So I came back to Kansas City, started researching coaches, found one, started, making a lot of changes personally and professionally. And it's like, why doesn't everybody know about this? I just felt like I was given this amazing gift. And that's really what planted the seed in me to become a coach through my inspiring connection I had with my coach. And I, had this calling to go to
Mhm.
school to research coaching. And so I actually enrolled in Coach U in the fall of 2009 and actually met you, Jen, in
Mhm.
January of, I think it was January of 2010. You were actually a sub on one of my calls, and back then in 2010, you would just get a roster with everyone's hometown. And fun fact, Jen and I are actually from the same, well, not the same, I live in her hometown now. I guess that's the
Yes.
correct way. But yeah, she actually grew up like down the street and around the corner from where I live today, which is a fun fact. And we connected, and Jen has been one of my amazing mentor coaches. But, through my coaching journey, I was still working full time at Sprint while going to coaching school. And 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to take a voluntary separation package and I raised my hand. So I always say I affectionately graduated from Sprint in December of 2010 and have been coaching full time ever since. Or I mean,
Yay.
2014.
2014.
I
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
in 2010. Sorry, the dates.
Yeah.
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 So
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
And that's
been
an
quite the
important thing to
journey.
bring out is that sometimes you start, and do this part-time even.
Hmm.
And then there comes a point where if you've done the work that we're going to be talking about
Yes.
in this time that we have together, and then you can kind of maybe leave that corporate work behind if you want. It's not everybody's
Yes.
path, but certainly
Hmm.
can be for many of us. So
Yes.
congratulations on
Thank
your
you. Thank
official
you.
10th anniversary of
I
your
know.
own
It's wild.
business. I've been honored to witness it and see what you've
Mhm.
developed, and I'm really excited to share with everybody today a bit more about what you're up to. So I'm going to do a quick introduction of
Sure.
you so that they can know why you're the perfect
Yeah.
person to have this conversation with. So Sarah is an ICF professional certified coach. She's also what she calls a connector and change maker, and I know this to be true. She works with individuals on topics including empowered leadership, personal development, life balance, energy management, career transition, professional branding, LinkedIn presence, networking strategies, interview skills, salary negotiation, and goal setting. Sarah's been named the best career coach and resume writer in Kansas City by The Pitch, a local independent newspaper. Sarah's blog, sarahUcoach.com/blog, is currently ranked number 36 in feedspot.com, the top 100 global life coaching blogs, and consistently on the top 100 list since 2018. And that is because of her commitment to that
Yes.
blog, let me tell you, and the quality of it as well.
Thank you.
Sarah incorporates meditation into her coaching sessions to encourage her clients to grow and stretch even further than they thought possible. Meditation is a powerful tool to dissolve limiting beliefs and remove blocks which get in her client's way. Sarah believes in coaching the whole person and living a healthy, well-balanced life. And here's the additional piece about what she's up to that's really interesting. So in 2015, Sarah became a certified yoga instructor to deepen her personal yoga practice over the past 25 years and to learn the best practices of yoga and meditation to share and incorporate with her coaching clients. And since 2017, Sarah has created and led 40 wellness retreats, including yoga, meditation, life coaching, energy management, and goal setting. And her Namaste all-day retreats are another way for Sarah to share her commitment to living a healthy, balanced life, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And Sarah and I collaborated to do 2 of those retreats, and
Yes.
she has got this figured out, everybody. So maybe we'll get a chance to talk about that a little bit more. But today, Sarah and I are going to be talking about how she's been inspired to create a coaching business that allows her, and these are her own words, to swim in many lanes, many different lanes. So to get you centered on her topic, Sarah has provided us with a quote. What would you do if you weren't afraid? And while you're pondering that, we'll take a quick break to hear from our inspiring sponsor, and then we'll be back to share more with Sarah Uchytil.
Hello, listeners. This is a special message from the International Coaching Group. We're thrilled to have you with us today on the Inspiring Coaches Show. If you're in search of an ICF accredited coach educator, look no further. Our flagship 555 coaching skills training program has been taught to over 45,000 people in over 38 countries. Additionally, our signature Fast Track to ICF credential program has been a key reason why both individuals and corporations choose the International Coaching Group to support their coaching skills, training, and coaching journeys. Ready to take the next step? Visit www.coachingoutofthebox.com to learn more or schedule a call with one of our enrollment coaches. We're here to support you every step of the way. Don't wait, start your coaching journey today.
Well, welcome back. And as a quick reminder, today we're being inspired by our guest, Sarah Uchytil, on how she swims in many lanes in her diverse coaching business. So, Sarah, it feels redundant to say welcome, but welcome.
Thanks, Jen.
And now that I've shared so much about your amazing accomplishments and what you created, my first question for you is, what's your favorite thing about the thriving coaching business that you've created over these 10 years?
Oh gosh, I think my favorite thing is just having this amazing ripple effect in the world. And because, as you mentioned, I've been coaching for 10 years and I love, getting referrals from past clients or hearing from past clients on how their coaching has changed their lives. Or I've gotten, emails from, client spouses on like, that was the best investment I did with my spouse.
Their spouses?
Yes,
Oh
I get
gosh.
yes. And so that's amazing. And I also love being able to follow my own creativity. So I can do leadership coaching. I can help individuals with career transitions. I can create new yoga retreats. So I'm this really unique blend of the career, the leadership, the mindfulness, the meditation, the balance, all in one. And that also inspires me again to lead that healthy life physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually too.
Yeah, you really walk your talk. You really do. So creating
Thank
that,
you.
you're serious about that balance
Mhm.
with all of it. So I'm kind of curious because although I've been really connected to you for most of
Mhm.
this,
Yes.
what do you think is how do you describe the go signal for you when you've gotten inspired by something
Mhm.
and it's just kind of shown up as, oh,
Mhm.
hey, What's the go signal for you with your creativity?
Well, I think it's like, is that internal fire. It's like, is that message that keeps, pinging me. Or, one of my favorite authors is Louise Hay. And, she always like, calls it her inner ding. And it's like, am I listening to my inner ding on, hello, this is the next sign, this is the next new thing. And it's like, do I, think about it? Do I dream about it? Do I wake up feeling really energized about it? Then, that's a yes.
That's a yes. So the other thing about you that's different than a lot of people that I've actually coached
Mm-hmm.
is you're pretty fearless when you hear that inner ding.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really experienced you holding back much. So what do you
Really?
attribute? Yeah, I mean, with your business, I mean, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
It feels as though you get that marching order
Mhm.
and you go for it. So
Yeah.
what's it within you that allows you to follow those marching orders?
Well, I'm an Aries, so I'm a fire sign. I'm also, if you know, so I feel like I have a lot of fire and energy. So it's like if it's something that I'm, really motivated to do, I'm gonna do it.
Mm. What percentage of your idea, and this is just kind of a random question,
Yeah,
you may
yeah.
not have an answer, but what percentage of your ideas do you think you follow through on?
Well, I have my list of my 24 and 24 list right over here.
24 and 24.
Right,
And
yes.
we're 2 weeks away from the end. How many of them is it all 24? Did you do all 24?
Um, there are a couple that I haven't done. Some are dependent on other
Wow.
people. So, but
Oh,
most of
there's
them I
that.
have.
Yeah.
So, but
Most.
it's like, I'm a big believer in creating a vision board, picking a word for the year, or a word or a theme. And like my words for this year were fire and flow. How can I follow my internal fire? Because if there's too much fire, you're going to get burned out. I mean,
Mm.
I've experienced that over the 10 years, but it's like, okay, then how can I be in the flow? So again, going back to swimming, and it's like you need to, being able to be in the flow with that too. So,
So almost all 24 out of 24. That is
mhm.
amazing.
Yeah, and I even like I have my vision board that I created in January of 2020,
Mm.
2 months later we hit COVID. And of the 20, and I picked 24 this year because we're in 2024. In the year 20, I just happened to cut out 24 items from magazines that really called to me on, what I wanted my life to look like. And even during the pandemic year, I still completed 20 out of my 24 things
Wow.
that still came true. I found a way to make that happen.
You found a way. And that is such an
Mhm.
inspiring message because it's not easy to stay with it, right? To have
No,
that drive, that
no. I
determination.
mean, and over the last 10 years, it takes a lot of grit and gumption and determination to, keep going. And I think it's, one thing that we worked on together was, even when I was, still working at Sprint and, thinking about leaving, you told me, what is one thing you can consistently do each month? I'm like, I can write my newsletter. I can write my blog. And I'm like,
And
if I say I'm going to
do
do
that.
it, I'm going to do it.
It's
So,
true. And you have done it. It's
yeah.
just built itself. And I
Hmm.
remember at one point, well, okay, so what I remember is hearing that you reach a certain number of subscribers and then it's kind of a tipping point to where
Hmm.
when you make offers, when you welcome
Hmm.
people to consider
Right,
participating,
right,
like in one of your retreats, that
right.
you can pretty consistently expect a certain number that you're going
Hmm.
to get, right? So
Right.
I'm curious, did you experience that as well, that the sticking with it, building it has paid off in that way?
As far as converting into clients or as
Uh-huh.
far
When you make an offer, converting into clients.
yes, I mean, I feel like it's one, kind of going back to the swim lane. I feel like my
Yeah.
blog is one of the swim lanes that I use to attract clients.
Okay.
That messaging can be repurposed in LinkedIn, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. You don't have to consistently be reworking your messaging. It's like, you create one thing, it's like, how many different ways can you slice and dice it?
Yeah. Repurposing it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting. So you've really found a way to have my term for it is profit centers, in
Mm-hmm.
both, kind of in more of the corporate kind of setting, more so,
Mm-hmm.
certainly working with people around their careers,
Yes.
climbing the corporate ladder,
Yep.
those pieces. But you've also had this amazing success in this life coaching,
Yes.
lane as well. So how have you managed that balance so well?
Well, I think again, it comes back to, who do I want to serve?
Mm,
And, when I get clear on, who do I want to serve, those people show up. And it can be through LinkedIn, it can be through Facebook, it can be through going to a networking event, it can be through, personal connections,
mhm.
you
So,
know, but it's like, but you can also, find people through SEO. If you have your website set up, if you have the right keywords. So just another story, just last Friday, I got a message, or it was probably last Thursday. I got a message from a woman who found me, who's a teacher here in Kansas City, and she's feeling burnt out and wanting to make a change in her career. So we had a complimentary introduction session. And at the end, I asked her, I'm like, I'm just curious. I'm like, how did you find me?
mhm.
Because I thought it was a referral from my neighbor, because my neighbor is a retired teacher and she does some substituting, and she asked me for some cards this fall. And I initially thought it would be from her, but she's like, no, she's like, I found you through a Google search. So
Oh,
again, that's another way of like, my blog had the right keywords, my LinkedIn post had the right hashtag. So it's like, she's like, you came up on the first page of searches, and I found your website and I wanted to book a session with you.
yeah. And
And
you've
again,
always had a
that's
really,
just another way on how you can connect with people and how you can build your business.
yeah, yeah. And your website's beautiful. It always has been.
Oh,
And
thank
the
you.
real you really shows up. The other thing because I'm even looking at your background there and I'm
Mhm.
recognizing the chakra chart,
Yeah.
or at least that's what I'm calling
Yeah,
it, a
it is.
chakra
It is
chart.
yes, it's the chakras.
I
Yes.
know it's the chakras. And so there's a spiritual side to you, very
Hmm.
obviously through the
Yes.
meditation, the yoga. What
Hmm.
role has that played in terms of inspiration and really developing this incredible business that you have?
Well, again, I think it goes back to that question of like, who can I serve?
Oh,
How can
okay.
I help?
Hmm.
What is my purpose and passion and vision and mission? And
So
it's like
that's really your
being,
core question, huh? Who can I
mhm,
serve?
yeah.
Wow.
And it's interesting how it shows up. And even like, this year, I don't know, it was like earlier this fall, things were a little slow, and I was waking up Monday morning. I was like, who can I serve? And another friend of mine through the yoga community, unfortunately, her sister had passed away very suddenly, and she had to go out of town for her funeral. And she's like, is anyone available to watch my dogs? And I'm like, yes, I am. My last dog, Molly, passed away. I hadn't adopted my new dog, Scarlett, yet. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, you're a lifesaver. I'm like, I'm happy to help. I'm like, and that it was just like a calling of like, how can I serve?
Mm, mm. And so what I'm hearing in that is it's not necessarily a direct connection to, income, but if when you stay in that space of who can I serve,
Yeah,
beautiful things kind of just seem to come your way. And
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Well, you do have a giant heart,
Oh,
and
thank
I
you.
know you mean it when you say who can I serve.
Hmm.
There's lots of marketing experts out there, and they'll
Yeah,
tell you to ask, who can I serve? How can I be of service to you? And there isn't always that authenticity there that is absolutely 100% a part of who you are.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. This is like, I know this about you.
Well,
Um,
and you never know when someone's going to show back up.
yeah.
Just last night, I got a message from a client who I had an introduction session with in September. And she's like, I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to move forward with this. I was like, okay, I'll send you an email recap. I'll lay out the options. And, I'm always a big believer in following up 3 times after an intro
Mm,
too. So
mhm,
if it's an email, if it's a text, if it's a LinkedIn message, follow up 3 times. And after that, I'm just kind of like, all right, they know how to get a hold of me.
mhm.
But last night, she messaged me and she's like, I booked time with you at Thursday at 9 a.m. Looking forward to getting started with you. I was like, oh, great. Sounds wonderful. So, I mean, I'm also a big believer in planting seeds. It's like, you plant the seeds, you water them, you nurture them, and, some of the seeds pop up. But again, it's just like, how many seeds are you out there, planting,
Yeah.
cultivating, and,
Hmm.
and I think it's a balance of being patient and persistent.
Hmm. Oh, a
And
balance of being patient and persistent. That's
yes.
another great
So,
soundbite
because
there.
I say that a lot, especially with clients who are going through the job search,
Mm.
because the job search can be grueling at times. And, it's that balance of being patient and persistent. So,
Hmm. Very much so. Well, of course, I want to talk with you more, but we need to actually move into
oh no,
wrapping up. So I love to
really?
find out. Yeah, I know. But I love to find out what's your next stretch as a coach?
Oh, my neck. That's a great question. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And you mentioned I'm a professional certified coach. I've been a PCC with AICF since 2016. And I know I saw you got your MCC this year, like other coaches. I'm very active in the ICF Heartland chapter, which is my local chapter here in Kansas City. And, other coaches are getting their MCCs. And I'm like, why can't I get my MCC?
Um,
So that is what's inspiring me. And that's my big stretch goal. I'm also thinking about maybe international retreat, maybe writing a book. I've got
Ooh.
all these amazing books on my bookshelf. I'm like, I need to get my own book out there too. So,
Yes, absolutely. Okay,
so
well,
those are my three stretches. So now that I've said it out loud, they're going to come true.
well,
So,
yeah, I'm sure that if we reconvene a year from now, they'll all have happened
right.
because that's
Yes. It'll be
you.
on my 25 and 25 list.
I know it will be. I know it will. Well, Sarah, you are so inspiring, and you
Oh, thank
inspire
you.
through your newsletter, your blog, so many different ways. Your posts on social media. What's the
Mhm.
best way for listeners if they want to stay in touch with you? What's the best way
Well,
to
the
do that?
best way to stay in touch with me, you can go to my website and sign up for my free newsletter. You can follow me on my blog, sarahUcoach.com/blog. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Facebook. Those are my primary swim lanes for my communication. So,
Okay. Well, let's spell your last name for them so they can find
yes,
you. Go
it's
ahead.
Uchytil. It's Uchytil.
Yes.
Or my website is
Yeah,
sarahUcoach.com.
the letter U. Yep. Yep. Always Sarah you. Yes. I always think of you or that's what I think of when I think of you, Sarah you, because
Oh,
you are so salt of the earth. So,
oh.
we didn't tell everybody you're actually from Iowa. We Midwest girls. I'm
Yes.
telling you. Yeah. For
Mhm.
those of you in the US, and you Canadians probably know a little bit about the Midwest girls as well. The
Yes.
Canadians are
Yeah.
also very much salt of the earth. Well, so Sarah, thank you so much for being here
Oh, thank you,
and
Jen.
being
This is
willing to
always such a treat to talk to you and to be able to share my message, and especially, this week on my 10-year anniversary. So I hope that if you are, thinking about becoming a coach, starting your coaching practice, just keep going. The world needs more amazing light workers. So please
That is
share your
true.
amazing light with the world.
Yes. So there you go. Encouragement from Sarah as well. So hang on one second, Sarah, because we're going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, I'm going to share with everyone how they could potentially become a guest on the Inspiring Coaches Show.
Okay, great.
Hey there, leaders! Are you ready to turn those tough conversations into purposeful and productive ones that drive real growth? I'm thrilled to introduce you to our Coach Approach to Leadership series. This is where you can learn the skills to communicate effectively, be heard, and make lasting, positive changes in your business. Imagine a conversation where you feel confident in what to ask, you truly listen, and you provide feedback that motivates action. That's exactly what we'll work on together in this program. Got questions? No worries, our enrollment coaches are here to support you every step of the way. Book a call with us today and discover how to transform your conversations and your leadership style. It's time to inspire growth, build real trust, and turn every interaction into a powerful, productive experience.
Okay, so you can apply to be a guest. We're always looking for inspiring coaches. If you are interested in joining me on the show, please send an email to Jennifer@cotbx.com. That stands for Coaching Out of the Box, cotbx.com, and includes your topic idea and a short blurb on how you think it will inspire coaches to bring their professional coaching dreams to life. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you get informed and don't miss a single episode of our inspirational show. And of course, we all know that coaches, we can't help it. We're going to show our gratitude. So thank you to Sarah Uchytil, our guest coach today. Sarah, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Jen. It's so wonderful to talk to you and to be able to celebrate with you.
Yes, I love that we got to celebrate this
Yes,
together. Such a big
absolutely.
deal. And I also want to thank our sponsor, Coaching Out of the Box, the International Coaching Group. Most of all, though, I want to thank each one of you out there, you coaches, and some of you who are thinking about becoming a coach. As Sarah said, you are very much needed in this world of bringing the light and helping people to make the difference that they want to be making in the world. And thank you for committing yourself to constantly seeking inspiration. It's part of our coaching mindset competency to find inspiration and to learn and grow. So thank you for being committed to making your coaching dreams come to life. Until next time, as always, I'm Jen Anderson, Master Certified Coach, and this is the Inspiring Coaches Show.